Hello everyone, I believe we're now live. This is a little bit of a special stream. Oh, did this not work? Oh, that's frustrating. Whoops. Didn't mean to copy the exclamation point. Oh, I fucked up my announcement, whoever just came in. Hey everyone, yeah, we're doing something a little different this time. This is a Q&A stream. It's gonna be slightly more casual. I hope to talk to you guys a bit more. Get your questions about, the game, honestly, like, my process, map making, etc. Like, anything that I could, well, talk to you guys about. Yeah, hey everyone, shit, there's a lot of people here already. Did not expect that. And like, I'll be doing stuff like going over map making, sort of what my method is, if you're interested in that at all. Honestly, this week I've just got enough going on that I couldn't finish the episode in time, so I figure, why not use this week for a breakdown? And, yeah, this won't be, this probably won't be a regular thing I do, unless for God, some reason this happens more frequently. I don't expect it to, but, yeah, no, thank you everybody for joining me. Let me give it a sec for people to filter in. And let me, most importantly, clear out my Adobe, Audition files so that we don't, so that I don't drop in the middle of stream. That'd be frustrating for everyone. Properties. After Effects. Desktop. Premiere autosave. Wow, we got a lot of people already. Okay, cool. Thank you, oh, hey, Lamp. Yeah, hi, everyone. Yeah, welcome to a special Q&A stream. I'm getting things set up at the moment. Thanks for stopping by. I super appreciate it. Okay. So, with no further ado, I might as well introduce, like, what my goal is with this project. And, like, I think it's been long enough that you guys more or less know what's up. What we've been doing with Windrose so far has been I've wanted to tell a strange story with a very strong emotional basis. I wanted to do something a little different than what I've done in the past, of introducing the characters and getting them to know each other more or less before things got crazy or weird. But, as you can see, things have started to get strange already. So, let's see if this experiment in storytelling pays off, because the group they're getting to know each other, like, almost right off the bat, and the first few sessions have almost been pseudo-RP sessions, which is... it's fun, it's different, it's slower paced. Thank you everybody who's come along. And the other gimmick behind this, the other big one, well, beyond the system gimmicks that I'll get into later, the structure gimmick is, let me drop you guys on a map. We're gonna go explore over here. In terms of structure, I wanted to create a game that was more or less open world, or not open world, but open field. So, we've got Jillian over here, and from the very beginning, let me zoom out on this a bit. You can see the full scale of this map, actually. Now, in terms of directions that they could go, I wanted them... What the fuck are you two doing lurking over there? In terms of structure and direction, I wanted them to be able to go in literally any way that they wanted with overarching goals. There's content up here. Content over here, obviously. That's the direction they most recently headed. And they've explored over here, all of over here, up here. There's things to do even here, too. Don't tell them there's something there, too. It's a secret between you and me. So, like, yeah, no, this game's been quite the project as a result. I want to take you guys through every map, just, like, talk through exactly how long this took, because, like, let me zoom in on this. This dirt road taught me many things about how to properly paint textures. This is actually 3 dirt textures, one laid over the other. And, like, this is probably the most boring shit in the universe. But, if you ever make maps, Map Tool's really good because it lets you paint at various opacities. So, I painted one dirt layer, that's the faded out one, and then over every individual bump of this layer, I would draw over it with a layer of this dirt up here. It's time-consuming, but I think rewarding in the end. And, like, I'm gonna show you guys after this a map that I'm working on that the group hasn't even seen yet. Do not tell them what it looks like. I think you're gonna be, impressed. So yeah, this map taught me a lot on how to, like, organize space, because it's not that well laid out, is the first thing I learned. There's basically this big ditch over here that it's got interactables. It's got a lot of things going on, but it's between the group and their objective, and naturally they got sidetracked here. What I didn't expect was, the river to become, because they could just walk left. The river became a thing because Delphi, like an idiot, jumped on this, rock, and suddenly they decided they wanted to go all the way around, which led to them discovering this chest. Now, if you've got really good eyes, you can see that there's a chest hidden in the water. The funny thing about this chest is it may have changed the course of the campaign, and I'll only be able to tell you why in a while. Just remember that this chest is here, and they really weren't supposed to find it yet. Because why would they take that hard right? Oh, man. Sparkly Moss, I'm actually gonna respond to chat a bit. Sparkly Moss says, Jay, it's Stevie. Can't stay for the stream, but know that I'm proud of you and that you're doing great with Windrose. Thank you so much. That's super good. Spencer asks, what would Delphi's favorite Nintendo series be? God, probably Xenoblade. The first one. I'm not gonna explain why. Yeah, no, like, the chest is very similar to the nonsense pizza skip in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Carbon Interface, where, like, to the players, the pizza skip makes no sense. We have no idea how the pizza let us skip 2 sessions, but it did. This chest has a similar effect on this story. So, yeah, that chest is comparable to the pizza. Remember that shit. Oh, Lamp. Yeah, Lamp, just give me like 15 minutes to just talk through these areas, and then I'd love to have you on. Oh. Civ's here as well, so if you have any questions that you could throw into chat, like, she'll respond. Thank you all for showing up, this is great. Is there a crazy Spates pizza in that chest? Yeah, I think pizza chest is a good term. So, I want to move through the zones one by one, in the order that they appear in the show. Because I think that'll produce the most interesting, it'll tell the most interesting story and show the story so far. Lester 2020, if they found that chest, how many sessions will that skip? It won't, weirdly enough, it won't skip any sessions. It entirely changes 2 characters. In a really good way. I think you're gonna be happy with the results. So, let's start at the very beginning of this campaign. Back in Bluebell. Ooh. My computer's actually slowing down. Okay. Now, let's go to this area. Ooh. Did stream die? Is Twitch messing with me? We're back? Let me check something to make sure that doesn't happen again. I just want to make sure all of my everything is being properly devoted to this. Let's take a look. Twitch has had a problem of more recently maxing out my memory usage, so we're gonna make sure that it's not doing that, and yeah. Okay. PC. Okay. Should be good. Yeah, no, sorry about the hiccup. It seems like I'm substantially behind, but yeah, okay. So, let's talk through a few of these maps. Starting, of course, with the very beginning. This, small detail. So, this zone is from 28 years ago. You'll notice that everybody is using different borders for their characters. They're using the more classic TI borders. This was actually done intentionally. Also, here's the most important character in the game who was just off screen at all times. That's a top secret for just you guys. Yeah, so this, it seems like my Twitch delay, which was nice before, has also skyrocketed. Yeah, this area has a very distinct and unique shape. Its construction was very deliberate, and all of the pog choices are pretty deliberate here. Because the very next map is... You'll notice the construction of the room is actually weirdly similar to the last one. This is more or less how we left it, but this is in fact the same building quite some time later. I don't know how I could communicate that in session. I don't know if it'll ever come up. But that's in fact the case. And you'll notice the pog borders have shifted. Everyone looks different and the entire world has changed over the last 28 years. There's a lot of something I'm proud of for this campaign. There's a lot of background stuff. A lot of thought was put into this. Civ and I have worked our absolute asses off to make sure that there's actually a lot to read into and to chunk into. For this one in particular, you might recognize a familiar face here. This boy was played in the Tomb of Horses as a certain dungeon maestro. Civ did the art for him. He looks honestly just super handsome. Way too handsome for this fucker. Yeah, so this zone is a reconstruction of the last one. You can see our ill-fated NPCs there. Just to zoom out and show a comparison, let's do that, and then this. There we go. Same room. I had a lot of fun with that. Okay, on to Bluebell. You're a little loud, Linsa theme. Let's turn you down a bit. Okay. This zone took an age and a half to make, and I don't know if they're gonna go back here. This place is gigantic. Off to the right, there's a claw there. You can see that there's actually a blurred version of a lower layer down below. That effect is a pain in the ass, and there's little grates that jump over it. Yeah, this place took forever to make, but I was happy with the result. This gives you a good impression of what Bluebell's like. Here's an engineer's station, and then of course we have the UHS up here. That's actually one of the spires supporting one of the higher floors. But we've got a connecting area up here. I'm not too happy with the visual on that. It's not great, but that's why I didn't show it in the video. And then we've got this area that is honestly a little too nice for the fact that it never is ever going to show up on screen. Cool effect with the grate down here. All these little details add a lot to the world, whether or not they're gonna show up in your show at all. Yeah, so Ultra Dai Senpai asks, how does that effect work? So the blur effect it's a very cheap trick. What you do is you zoom out to about here, you take a picture of the entire thing, you apply a blur, you chop it up into 100 different parts, and then you, like a puzzle, put it underneath the map. I am going to shatter the illusion of this area and ruin this right now by doing this. Oh wait, no, that's the fog. Sorry. I put a lot of fog and other visual effects on top of it. Yep, look at that. Yeah, if you want to make your maps look nice, you start to figure out hell tricks like this. I am not saving the campaign after doing that. That was a pain in the ass to do. Next up, we have the UHS itself. This zone, I'm not too proud of, but it uses a similar trick to the last one of zooming out and, oh yeah, there's a little loading screen hidden over here for players. So players see this when we're booting in. This is cute. Catartna did a much nicer version of it that we now use for the videos themselves. Yeah, for this, I painted with about 30% opacity on each of these glass tiles, set a glass tile in the middle, and then slid this underneath. The effect, frankly, doesn't look as good as I would hope. Then we have one of my favorite maps. We have the train. This was a really fun and ambitious effect that I didn't know if it was going to work out. Wait, this ain't it. Train map, tunnel map. Ah, yes. Okay. Real train map. Gotta boot in a bunch of kind of large effects. Now, you'll see two characters over here. They're gone. Don't worry about them. So, these sequence of trains. I'm pretty proud of the effect that we achieved here of speed. So, these were achieved by, and I can pull it up. I believe it's called Train Map. This effect was achieved by creating a normal desert map, using the same technique as earlier, blurring the shit out of it, posting it here, and you have a speeding train effect. These little, like, letterboxes, they help a lot make your map look better. Hard black borders just help. They help you get by. I know it's sort of become synonymous with my style, I guess, to have this shit around the outside always. But, listen, they're important. Yeah, so that was fun. Then here is the train accelerates, and I don't think this came through in the video, but if you look pretty closely, the blur here is at about 60%. The blur here's that's like 30, this is about 60. To imply that the train's moving a bit more quickly, and there are fewer cars available for the players to go to. Then we hit the tunnel. Similar to the last trick. Allow me to show you. Here's the tunnel. Base. This is before any effects are applied to it. Here's what it looks like afterwards. Much better. Much, much more dynamic. These train cars, they're not the best. This is what frustrates me about them. There's a single white pixel running around the outside, and let me tell you, drives me a little crazy. I had yet to discover the beauty of premium assets purchased on the Roll20 store yet, so yeah, I bet there's a better train out there. And finally, the last zone, the grassland zone. This is, this one I made. This one, there is a proper grasslands creation, but I actually fucked it up to make a different map. I think you'll recognize this map as the burning map that they fought the bear at, but it's not on fire. That's because there were multiple end states for this campaign. Or, like, there were different ways for this campaign to go. And they would have fought different enemies here, and something different would have happened if they'd wound up in the not-so-on-fire state. It's still a little on fire, but yeah. They wound up with max on fire. And we're gonna talk about that at the end of the arc. Not even the players know how they deviated the course of history. Here is the on fire version. This is the one they actually played. And then if you look at the real train map, this is actually the same map, except blurred. I just put a big, like, here. If you look at this map right here, pop you over. This is actually, let me grab the erase tool. Oh, that ain't the erase tool! Token layer. This is actually that same map, except the other side. Like, there's still flowers over here. I just chopped it in half and built off to the left. Once again, this is my immersion-shattering secrets stream. Sentryless Spy says, are you going to post to story mode / your normal channel for variety and behind the scenes for people like me who want to watch the YouTube version since the stream is at 2 a.m. here? I think I'll post the behind the scenes to YouTube. That does sound like a good idea. I don't want to cheat anybody out of that, that's fair. So, on to Crossroads. These maps were a huge pain. Oh, I can't scroll up here at all because there's still a fight going on. Whew. We're gonna jump to the Crossroads. Now, this map, as you might expect, took me the absolute longest. There are 2 Delphis. Ignore that fact. This one's just for illustrative purposes. So, there are 2 versions of the Crossroads. One gets used a little bit later, or will be used a little bit later. This one took me a bit because it required me to figure out a lot of techniques. If you want to see the level of obsession that I got to here, well, first of all, how to make a good stone path. You make a stone path, you draw dirt on a layer underneath it. It gives it an indentation in the world. It looks like it has some presence. This isn't a great stone path, but it's better than most. Here's the level of obsession that I got to. Now, these rocks here are really funny. Because if I highlight what's actually happening with them, you can see that they've got a sort of unique effect where grass is actually sort of coming over top of them. That's because there are actually quiet little cutouts here. I believe they are on the background layer. Oh, wait, no. This is the, oh, that's another layer of fuckery that I got into. Basically, okay, so I painted over every single blade of grass on top of these rocks right here, putting them on a lower layer so that it appeared that they were standing in 3D space. It makes areas look a lot nicer. It doesn't always make them look nice. Like this flower is secretly on a hidden background layer. That's not great, but the stones look good. I want to see chat's reaction to that shit, at least. Yeah, like, this was a layer of involved that I got with my maps that I probably don't want to get again. These stones look good, maybe not so much more. There is a level of futility which no one will notice, and I certainly hit it. So, over to the woods. We already talked about this map a bit. Oh, fuck. No, we're still on Crossroads. I want to talk about the stuff they found. So, going forward, I want to make clear exactly what is dropped and added to their inventory, because they got a sweater, the death flag, and a comfy ram backpack in here. Those were rolled from a table. There are many items that can be found in Matagos. There's items hidden in here. You can see the pickle buckets glowing. You can acquire things over here. I've hidden something everywhere. Just keep an eye out for sparklies. The other things they can get at Matagos, they might still acquire, so I can't spoil them just yet. But, yeah. Oh, if you want to make water look good, don't do this. This isn't good-looking water. I'm going to jump over to here. So the woods. These woods, took a bit. They crashed, unfortunately, a few players' computers with their size and scope. Because, believe it or not, these hill textures are so big that most people can't load them. They're gigantic PNGs. Don't do that to your players. Find something more reasonable. I learned that. I'm a little proud of the water here, but I get much better about that in the future. The water that I made coming up, I'm extremely proud of, and I'm going to give you a sneak preview for all of, like, 2 minutes of that zone. But for now, This little area here is the best attempt I've had at water, where this is on the object layer, the water surrounding the stone. The rest of the water is on the background layer. If you slide the stone under that little loop of water, you can create an effect of a stone jutting up out of the water, which is what Delphi jumped on. Similarly around here, create a loop of water around it. It makes it look like it exists in 3D space. I've already gone over my dirt techniques. They're good. I'll show you how I perfected that down the line. I want to jump to Force Bend. Similar to the first zone, this one took a little bit to create. The group's down there, ignore them. Hey, it's another Delphi. Oh, that's a spoiler. You guys got half of a second of a spoiler of a future in-game thing. Fuck it, I can show it off now. In-game, enemies are going to have attacks that show up on screen, and with the assistance of Cat Artna, we have a really good visual indicator of that. So, whenever, say, an enemy's prepping a big attack, players can mouse over that enemy, and for this case, we're going to assume that Delphi is the enemy, and get a readout of what that attack's going to be in the lower left. It says exactly who's performing it and what it does. That is a little bit of a preview for future gameplay. It also shows its hitbox. So, like, yeah, tactical gameplay incoming. But yeah, for this zone, this is a fun one because they did a lot of things that I didn't expect. Like, they discovered that each of the arrows here was colored a different way. That was a mechanic for this boss fight down here that never occurred. It wasn't going to be a hard one, but it involved the spider attacking with arrows, each of a different color. The only indication would be what type of arrow it was. What color would be incoming. The spider would functionally... You wanted to clash with the spider. It only attacked with a +1, so you could clash and win against it easily. But it would try to navigate around your defenses and hit you, and if it did, it would absolutely devastate you. It hit for anywhere between 5 and 7 damage, which, at this level, is a lot. Note for damage as well. We're following the Paper Mario philosophy of lower numbers are nice and better. Damage isn't going to grow to absurd levels. 9 damage will probably always be a lot. Up here with Hadric over here. That scene more or less went exactly as I expected. That was nice because it established that these spirits aren't just quest givers. They're actual people that you can interact with and grow from. Hadric is far and away not the last that you're going to see of them. Now, you might not have realized that there's more zone. Here's another hive. All in this direction that the group did not encounter at all. Furthermore, there's an entire zone up here, including an apple tree up there. Furthermore, they can head up the northern path and enter an entirely new area. So, to the next. These get a little less interesting as it goes, because once, and this is the core thing, the best advice that I can give. Once you figure out a tile set for a zone or set of zones, you can make them easily. Like, it doesn't take long to create areas when you have all of the tiles in front of you. So, make a folder of the same dirt texture that you like, the same rocks you like, the same everything you like, and use that. This is the area where Velvet and Atticus were first seen, and they wandered down in this direction. This is where they came from in the last episode, and this is obviously where they wound up. They haven't explored down here, here, here yet, or up there. Yeah, there's a lot left to discover. Coloring over the edges of things in dirt helps them look more natural in the environment. So, that more or less brings me to the end of what I can show you. Unless I'm willing to show you a spoiler or two. Which I am, because this won't have a good context for you. So, these maps, believe it or not, were made about a year ago. Like I said, I've been working on this campaign for a long time. Let me show you something more recent. If I can find what the fuck I called it. Oh, is it a folder up? Might be. There we go. Hopefully this doesn't kill my computer again. There we go. Don't pay too much attention to the names of things. This is a more recent map. If it'll let me go, huh? Doesn't seem to want to let me go, huh? Weird. I guess you guys are gonna get GM view for now. That's okay. Oh, there it goes. So, this is a more recent map that I created for the express purpose of next session. You'll notice that it's running very slowly because all of this is... I have yet to export it or do anything in terms of compression. This map took a long time. Using a similar technique, you can paint dirt on the ground and have it spread out. This zone was a pain, let me tell you. Don't tell the players, but this is the bit I'm particularly proud of. I spent about 2 hours having this bad idea that I really wanted to have a 3D effect here with the water spilling out and over. Like a 3D effect to create a shape on the hill to make people think that this is an actual physical space. Really glad I did that. Complete waste of time. Really glad I did that. And now this is gonna be the one. Stream, let's have some fun. Let's see if we can kill my computer. Okay, here we go. See how bad my computer screams with this map. This is one of the very next zones they're going to, and this is one of the maps I'm most proud of, period. Look at the fucking water here! Oh my god. Now this, you might be taking a look at this, and you might think, hey Jay, this is huge. Hey Jay, this is way too huge. You don't know the fucking half of it. What's coming up next is going to be gigantic and fantastic. This is, I shit you not, an area that is 4 times the size of Barovia, and I fucking counted. This is only a fraction of it. So, you guys are now privy to that secret. Once again, don't tell my players. And I am jumping back to an earlier map. Because this place kills my computer. Oh, whoa. This is a weird one. This is oh man. This is a crossroads outside of time. I kind of like it. It's useful to keep like little shell maps almost of each version of your older maps because you never know. But yeah, let's jump back to Crossroads, and I think I'm gonna start answering questions because honestly, mostly I've just talked all stream, and that ain't good. I wanna hear from you folks. So yeah, let me Yeah, also you guys, if you're already like, oh man, that map's pretty impressive, you don't know the fucking half of it. It's I I think you're gonna be really impressed with what follows it, I suppose. Jay wants to outdo Stradvan Zarovich. Yeah, I think I do. Oh, good question. I had another unfortunately unrelated question. What is the music you use? Where can we find it? It is not made for Windrose. It's entirely like, okay. So Windrose obviously uses assets that are not like entirely hand created. It's like that are not made in-house for everything. Music is one of them. We use music from mostly big budget RPGs. I am firmly of the mentality that I will not, like, I don't want to take someone's hard work if they're an indie developer or anything and put it in my thing. It's mostly like from Final Fantasy, etc. Like, if it's a AAA company, fine, whatever. I don't want to take anyone's hard work, which is why, well, hard work that wasn't professionally reimbursed, and like, if Intelligent Systems or whoever wants to get pissed at me, fine. But I'd feel bad if, like, for example, all the NPC art, or not all of it, much of the NPC art, background NPCs, the ones that Civ doesn't make, are, from, like, Fire Emblem, the Atelier series, or Atelier, whatever, specifically because they're from sort of big budget studios, and we don't want to rip off from people who might just be making their characters on DeviantArt. I don't want to take that from people. That's bad. Don't do that. The characters themselves are... Oh, I'm getting a lot of questions. Here we go. Polaris Does the Thing says, how long did that map that was 4 times the size of Barovia take to make? It took Lamp and I watching all of the Irresponsible Captain Tyler, so 24 episodes of an anime. Zathamir says, how do you get started making a map as a GM? Start with Roll20. Just do it. It's the easiest one. Then when you understand the limitations of Roll20, move on to Dungeon Painter or Map Tool, whichever one suits your fancy a bit more. To do a lot of the more complex effects, because Roll20 does not let you paint, and it doesn't let you do stuff at opacity, so there is a hard limit in what you can accomplish unless you're making custom assets in Photoshop. Which, sure, go for it. Like, if that's your plan too, that's a totally valid one. Start with that. Roll20 has a good free library that'll get you started and also get you very frustrated with what's available in free online. The Hatman asks, how many abilities do classes get, and how do class abilities work? I'm eager to start making classes. So, as a quick explanation of classes, just so we're all on the same page. Each character, and I can pull this up, this is our private Roll20 for JRPG. Let me hop into this. Roll20 launch game. Okay. So, each character is, and this might be the only time that you'll ever see this screen. Oh. Sorry, it was playing music from the last Sweet episode. Here. This will let you see, more or less, our jank character sheets and the way things work a bit. So, these little icons are, they're filler, because Cat Artna did actual very nice icons that I need to replace these with. These are representative of each of the classes. Oh, hey, Sprout. And you can see here that you have... Oh, You have stats up here, your attributes, top 3. And then you've got your gifts down bottom. You can have 6 equipped. This one is representative of the Doctor class. It's in Velvet's primary slot. This is a little preview of what she can do. These are beta abilities, so they might be changed. Don't commit them to heart. But this gives you an idea of what Velvet's capable of. For example, level 1 gives 2 abilities, level 2 gives 1, and they can level up any number of times. In total, I'd give classes as many abilities as they need. The important thing here is that, I'm also changing the music to Final Fantasy music, obviously. I feel it's very fitting. I feel it's important to keep the kit's core to what the character's identity is, because you have these little things called subslots that let you functionally slot in other abilities that you like to that class and make it a permanent part of that class. So, like, this Thrilling Rescue ability was awarded for saving the hostages on the bear taxi. Thrilling Rescue. You'll never forget the presumed looks of gratitude on the masked faces of the RNA soldiers you saved. Combat is rarely necessary. However, today you took up arms to save a life. Experience. Awarded for defeating the Chimera while saving all of its hostages. Level 1. Rescue. During your turn, you can spend your action placing an ally into a quasi-real space within your square. Flavor that as you will. Your ally cannot be targeted by single-target attacks from enemies while in this state. Either you or your ally must spend an action disentangling yourselves before the rescued ally can act. It's Fire Emblem Rescue. So if you decide, hey, I like this Thrilling Rescue ability, but my bar is almost full of classes, you go into Doctor, you copy out subslot available, and you put in Thrilling Rescue, and it just becomes part of the class. So, for this reason, we keep class construction relatively simple, because players should be able to create their own classes. They should be able to sort of... I want this game. The thesis statement behind this game was and always will be to let the journey the players took be, or let the characters be representative of the journey they took. So, because Velvet got that Thrilling Rescue ability from beating a boss, she'll always have that memory of defeating the boss while figuring out an achievement. And if she makes it a permanent part of her kit, that means that that fight has special significance to her literally forever. It's not just another experience point, and it's not another piece of equipment. I feel like I went on at length answering that question. Screamatone asks, Delphi or Sprout, who's the most adorable? Adorable I'm giving to Delphi, just because that choice of word is like, that's focused on like cute to me, more cute and stuffed animal-y, which like, yeah, her. Sprout has like Sprout is like that sort of like weird cute, like he's a little unsettling, and like, that's adorable in its own way, I suppose. Yeah, Delphi is more traditionally adorable. Sprout's like a meal from near. Just like, yeah, cute, but also a little off-putting. Missing Another Great asks, have you considered incapacitated abilities for your systems? Weak things a player can do after they've eaten shit and are out of the fight but still want to do something. This is a little bit of a preview for, the quick play rules, which I hope to get out before the end of the year. The way incapacitation works in JRPG, we need a name for the game, holy shit, is you go down when your HP's depleted, obviously. You can choose to stand up from a KO at any time, but when you do, your injuries, the fight becomes that much more dire. If you stand up from a KO again, and you were depleted to 0 HP, functionally you've stood up twice now, That's how your character dies in this setting. Going down is not a big deal in this game, because as has been established by the setting, death is not the end of the campaign. Or not death. Defeat is not the end of the campaign. A lot of these bosses are going to be difficult to the point that I expect them to defeat the group. That's just how it is. That's how life and settings should be. Whether or not they want to risk their lives going for victory is ultimately up to the party. This setting was constructed to enable them to take a loss, and that to be okay. So, abilities that work while incapacitated would be fantastically fun for a specific class, but I wouldn't make them universal. If your character was spec'd into eating shit and doing stuff on the ground, that's great, that's awesome, do that. But I wouldn't make that an across-the-board thing, because incapacitation is built to happen, and it's built to happen pretty damn frequently. This next fight that the group is about to engage in could very easily have been a TPK. TPK is a little excessive. TPKO. I think I've made a setting where you guys should, every fight, be reasonably interested in whether or not the party will win or lose. So, yeah, look forward to that. Werewolfy1 asks, I'm still a bit confused. Delphi is a sheep, pup, or is she a sheep? She is, Delphi is actually no part sheep. She is part, she's basically part fox person. She's got fox person heritage and bird person heritage. She's actually, I wonder if I can find good enough art for this. Like, not good enough art, like, good enough zoom art, because I don't think you'll be able to tell on her. Yeah, you can't really tell. If you zoom in extremely close, gargantuan Delphi. These pixels right there, those are actually feathers. She has feathers on her, I believe it was her neck, elbows, and hips, and ankles, I think. And tiny vestigial wings on her forearms. That's why she's basically a cloud person. Let me go. Spencer asks, what do you think of Kirby? Hell yes. Also, will you give the crazy maps you make to the public? I want Barovia, whatever, that is. Since a lot of these maps are made for, so I made these maps with premium assets that I purchased off of the Roll20 store. Giving them to the public it'd let me give away another person's work for, so that other people can use the maps without asking them first or clearing it with them first, so I've stuck away from that. If you want to try to make these maps on your own, absolutely go for it. That's not a line I super feel comfortable crossing. I think that, like, and to recommend, one premium asset creator in particular, Brass Badger Workshop did a lot of this. Check them out. They're great. Roll20 Marketplace. They're so good. I have bought all of their stuff. The Observer of All asks, how's that horror campaign going that uses this system? It hasn't started yet. I think you'll be happy when it does. Is all I can say. I think I'm gonna grab Lamp for this now. We've lasted it. Like, I think we've gone on long enough. I'm gonna give her a quick call. Hello, hello?
Hello, hello!
Oh, how's it going?
It's going alright. I haven't talked to any humans today, so I was trying to jump on this opportunity.
Sweet. You're obviously live on stream, and you know that, right?
No, I'm blissfully unaware of that fact. I live in a constant state of ennui when not on stream. What are you on about, Jay? I messaged you in the stream
I know,
chat.
I just want it, like, it's etiquette. I want to make absolutely sure. Oh my god. Oh, yeah, thank you. Where is it? Agent J-Wall, yeah. Just,
You got it.
Yeah, sorry, I need to look at my other mic to read names, because I'm on the, other monitor mic, Jesus.
You're killing it.
I thank you. You can see a bigger picture of Delphi right here. Shit. Zoom hard. Yep. So yeah, feathers. Hopping back over. Lamp, how's it going? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. How are you doing? Why the impromptu lore?
Because I was doing my absolute best to get an episode done for today, but, that was not happening. I worked my absolute ass off. But, nope, nothing doing.
Now, I don't wanna tell you how to live your life, Jay, but maybe if you put less excessive detail into maps.
Maybe. Or less excessive detail into editing, like... This has been a project that I've enjoyed working on so much that I just want to, like, kind of...
You just want to work on it forever, and then you don't make it fast enough.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, all real-life prep is fucking, like, it's dumpstered my usual process, because my usual process is unnecessarily complicated and requires too much work. Oh, here's a good question. How many mics do you use as a monitor?
3,000.
Oh, man. Yeah, I've been... Like, this is fun to do and fun to go through because I feel like if I don't get it out there, like, hey, this map is actually this map in the past, I will just forget. You know?
Yeah, you'll forget your own lore, or you'll forget to bring it up.
I will 100% forget my own lore.
Is that what happened with all of TI?
Yeah, God! TI, I took notes on the stuff that I absolutely want to preserve, but there's a lot of, like, small details that I have totally lost.
Oh man, here's a cool hot fun fact because we're being informative and helpful today.
Yeah.
Best way to organize your world: make a timeline. Makes things 3 million times easier.
Oh god, I really got it. Like there is one for this. It's just it's like it's written out like a textbook. It sucks.
Oh, don't do that. Just make it a bulleted list. That's all you need.
Yeah, like we got one, but yeah.
Write it like a textbook once you're done with the bulleted list.
Fair enough. Griff Monkeys says, Jay, the detail's worth the wait. Aw, thank you. That makes it all worth it. It seriously does. Like, I like this project so fucking much.
Dude, I can tell.
To the point that it's physically, like, to the point that the work I'm putting in is physically unworkable sometimes. Oh my god.
Oh, so... Here's like all that I'm going to say of like what I've been doing today. Yeah. I've been playing Smash Brothers and it's tight, and that's all I'm gonna say because it's tight.
Do you have online because we're gonna be playing Smash after this?
I sure can have online. Who's playing? You know what? No, that's not important. We're on stream right now.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah, no. And afterwards, I should probably just like I was in the middle of a World of Light run. I'll continue the World of Light run.
Yeah, no, that's
live
what I'm
on
doing.
Stream. Yeah, no, tiny Smash Bros. Diversion. By the way, if you're enjoying the Q&A, come back after the Q&A. We're going to take like a 10-minute break, probably in like 10, 20 minutes. And then play Smash Brothers or some shit.
World of Light's so tight.
World of Light's so fucking tight. Oh man, there's discussion of timelines now. Timelines are good. Lore is good, actually.
Yeah, man, make lore. Lore is fantastic.
Make deep lore. Angra knows what's up with deep lore. He knows. Like,
deepest lore.
You gotta. Deep lore's the best because it's that lore that you can only tell, like, one of your friends, and then you forget about it, and that makes it the deepest lore, because only one person knows it.
It's deepest lore, because you're friends. Friendship was the deepest lore all along.
Yeah, I love getting into any amount of deep lore, because people are, like, you can always feel it. It has that chunky feeling of, like, oh man, here's this crazy important character that's not relevant to this adventure, so we're not focusing on them.
Not important. That's like everything I tell you about Macamans.
I am thankful for the deep lore. I survive off of deep lore.
It's like oxygen.
Yep. Or Incorporated asks, do you ever intend to release a physical copy of the Windrose rules? So, for the rule set coming up, they're gonna be quick play rules. They exist to get people acclimated to the system, and so that everyone can start, like, critiquing and assisting me in creating classes and shit. And, like, if you make a class, and, like, there's gonna be a design chat at some point. I'm gonna set it up. We're just not quite there yet because no rules. If you design a class, I will absolutely credit you and put a nod to that, like, yeah, no, this is your baby. Quick play rules exist to give you a foundation in that, and so that the game becomes more followable. Because my one complaint about Windrose is the players know how to play because they're playing it. It's intuitive to play and really hard to explain. So, I need to give you guys rules, and I need to make a tutorial video that functionally walks you through step by step. Now, how does this tie into the physical copy? The quick play rules are going to be released on DriveThruRPG as pay what you want. So, if you want to give me nothing, fine. That's a-okay. Because the big thing is, test it out. I want to know if you like the game before you pay me for it. Down the line, my goal, and this is a pipe dream of dreams, this is literally something I've wanted for years, is I do want to get a book published. I want to be an actual creator of one of these games. Lamp can attest, I have strong opinions on many of them. They don't come up very often on stream because I tend to get slightly mean. I got feedback from a very close friend the other day that's like, man, when you talk about tabletops, it comes across as borderline hostile.
It sounds like you don't like them.
It sounds like you don't like them. And, like, I was talking in specific, like, regards to their character. And they're like, it feels like you're literally attacking me right now. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. Look, I like looking at rules a lot. And I like to try to understand the way that rules work. Because I never want to, like, I never want to imply to someone that they're cheating or something. So I tend to go hard on character construction because I get that sense of, like, if you can do like 90 damage in a turn or some shit, it's not like I'm like, oh no, you're fudging numbers. No, I'm suddenly mad at the game system for allowing you to do that.
We've had many a passionate conversation about game design because I'm much the same way.
Yeah.
There's some systems I really want to light on fire.
Yeah, so I try to.
And they're called Two Finder.
Two Finder, that finally gives Two Finder a role. Kindling.
Yeah,
anyway.
kindling! Perfect!
Oh, Chocolate215, thank you for the bits as I get surprisingly hostile about TTRPGs. No, it's like, I don't mean to, it's just like, I can't help it, and like, a lot of times these games and these systems are deeply personal to people. Like, you have a deeply personal connection to your system, to your GM, to your character, and to your players.
Yeah, and tabletop games are just a very intimate experience as a whole.
They're super intimate, and I fucking never want to step on that for you. Like, if if me being like Horde of the Dragon Queen is a pile of ass ruins your experience with Horde of the Dragon Queen, I am genuinely sorry, because, like, I'm sure your game with it was great, because you were great, or the GM was great, you did things to make it great, the base game still sucks, but, like, don't let me deprive you of your fun. Ever. Never let me do that. It's yours, you have every right to it, it came from within you. In fact, you should be proud because you made something bad fun.
And Horde of the Dragon Queen is bad.
Horde of the Dragon Queen is unfortunately very badly constructed. It's got problems if you play it by the book. Oh man. Oh, here's a good question. The Observer of All. So what do buffs like Delphi's broken arm do to the combat system? Injuries are something that I'm futzing with in-game. I haven't figured out 100% how they work or how I like how they work. Delphi is rocking with her broken arm a -5 to 1 attribute, which is... It incapacitates one of her attributes completely. So, like... She can't use one of her scores, or it would be unwise to use that score. Real rough.
Real impractical.
Yes. Oh, Civ's gone. Goodbye, Civ! Oh, man. No joke, Lamp, I would love to just sit down and shit on a game or build up a game with you.
Oh my God.
Like, that'd be...
Yeah, right?
Like, live on stream, I think people would like that, actually. Because,
Absolutely, dude.
yeah, like, I feel like it'd be... People are getting to see... So with TI, I think people got to see a very specific side of me, which is TI's tone is, like, really...
It's just wacky and, like, yeah, who cares, right?
It's wacky, sort of nihilistic, and sarcastic, which is, like... It's not really me.
Yeah, no, not really.
But, like, that's okay, because I think the tone is very good for my players, because I think it kind of is Jackson and Faye a lot.
Yeah, no, they definitely thrive in there.
They definitely thrive in this setting, and I get the feeling that Matt would
thrive anywhere.
Matt would thrive anywhere, so I think it works a lot. And
I sure would like to play a game with Matt again. I only did it once.
The Deathbird. Thank you for the bits.
Bits are nice.
Like, Windrose is closer to what... No, Windrose is absolutely what I'm about. This is gonna sound shallow. Windrose is mostly made for me.
I mean, that's the thing. When you're a Dungeon Master, the game's supposed to be for you, because you're the one running it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, there's a lot of design stuff, and a lot of, you could play semantics police about it. Just like, well, actually, it's for the players also. Just like, yeah, it's a community experience, but, like, let's be honest with ourselves. If the GM doesn't like it, it's gonna suck.
Yep. Like, I like running a game for the players, because I feel like I learn the most doing that, but it also, like, it's hard to sustain yourself off of that, so, like, you need to find a good balance. Like, TI, I think, is a pretty good balance right now of, like, hey, this is for the players and this part's for me. Windrose is entirely fucking for me. Which is good. Oh, Neko says, heck, I should host something again and invite you both. Matt seemed to be having fun in Haunting of Harrowstone. Neko, if you invite Lamp and I to a thing, that'd be... I have no chances to play with Lamp as a player. Like, they do not exist.
No.
They actually just don't.
Yeah, no, now I'm thinking about it. That... Huh.
Showrunner sucks sometimes, right?
We were in Room Venture together, but...
That was great!
Yeah, that was great.
But, like, chances
Talking
like that...
was really fun, but yeah.
Yeah, chances like that are rare. So, like, yeah. Like, yeah, you're one of the people where it's like, fuck, I wish I could play with her more. Oh my god. Let's see, yeah. I mean, like, I ran Haunting of Harrowstone for you, which was a
Fuck
fucking
it.
great experience. Go check it out.
Oh,
That was one of
Has
the first.
Brianna uploaded the next Hero Stone yet?
No,
I got.
no, I think it's my fault too. I think I owe her a new video for that.
Dude, you gotta get that to her, man. Like, the world needs to see Hero Stone. Like, have we even gotten to the juiciest parts in Hero Stone yet?
No,
Like,
I don't
have we
think
gotten
so.
to the shack in the woods yet?
I think you guys got to the shack in the woods. You guys haven't gotten to fucking Dilbert Muffin Tough trapped in a mine prison yet, while a bunch
No,
of
we
skeletons.
haven't gotten there. We haven't gotten to like the absurd, the fucking. I can't say because there'll be spoilers someday, so I can't just go blabbing about the best parts of Hero Stone.
Yeah, like, God. Here's a question from earlier. When you say JRPG, do you mean JRPG or JRPG? The unhelpful answer is I mean JRPG. No, I mean JAY. This
is why in Scrubs and Scrape the title is
it's
RPG.
Yeah, no, wise. Like, you're correct. Fucking the game system is named that because I like the pun a lot, and this game is meant to emulate classic PS1 RPGs to a certain extent. In terms of, like, opening, obviously, I really wanted to have an opening where, you teamed up with NPCs who died. That's, like, critical to the RPG experience.
Oh, of course.
And I really wanted the group to start at level 1 in the middle of a fucking way too nice town. All of my players are waiting for me to burn it down.
How cruel the conditioning of tabletop players is.
Yeah, also just JRPGs in general. Like, this place would be up in seconds.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bandits would set this place on fire. So, yeah. I guess, like, chat, you can wait for or dread that alongside them. So, yeah. We'll see how hard I lean into the JRPG part of JRPG.
All right, I think I've earned a comment about Smash Brothers. So,
Oh,
have
yeah.
you fought the boss yet?
The boss of World of Light?
No, I mean the boss, like from Metal Gear.
No!
Oh God, it sucks.
Have you fought fucking Ho-Oh yet?
I did fight Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh was giving me the business a little bit, but
Oh,
I powered through. No, the real bastard was Rayman for me. God, screw that.
Okay, I'm excited to see this shit. Jesus Christ.
It's a good game. If you haven't heard of this little company called Nintendo, they make neat things.
Oh, man. Oh, here's some good questions. Ethmizer says, how friendly is the Windrose system with other settings? That's one of the things I'm testing. I want to test it in a variety of different things. One of the suggestions was a mecha, which is a very different setting. It's being tested in horror, and I want to test it in modern day, but so far, testing has been very good. It's a super flexible system. I would recommend it. This may surprise you. Ultra Dai Senpai asks, if you were to recommend someone not play Windrose a certain way, what would you say? Windrose is written to be a book? Like, the campaign is actually written up from the start, to encompass a variety of playstyles, including, like, it's basically written so that the group will be... It's written to accommodate groups across the alignment spectrum. The opening chapter with the train, etc., is unique to the video series, but this starting point of Crossroads is universal to the campaign setting book. And there's different ways to interact with the different characters here, and they have different reactions to, say, player characters who are chaotic evil, or just like chaotic neutral and dicks. This is something I think I brought up once or twice before, but you guys have and probably will completely miss out on the chance to see douchebag Delphi. which is what happens if you roll in and take everything for granted. She's fun. She, like, if the group is openly hostile, you are just kicked out. That is the end of that. If you are passive-aggressive or kind of a dick to her, she doesn't have an off switch in terms of escalating right back. So it's a problem when the innkeeper is constantly trying to feed you, like, piles of dirt. It's just like, here's your food, asshole. And, like, if your group can get along with that and, like, you really want a sort of, you want a very different, like, sort of aggravated relationship with the character, good for you. You can have that, I guess. But she's built to sort of, like, best mirror and respond. Well, she's built to best mirror and respond to, like, good aligned parties. In terms of neutral, you get a different, way more jaded and snarky character. Which is, like, what you've seen from her, probably a little hard to believe, but you might see it in the future. Who knows what they're gonna do with the character. But yeah, in terms of, like, this opening area, it can go a lot of different ways, and that's something that I will absolutely save for the book, including, this is another mechanic for the game. You can get different classes from each of the different characters that are called trust classes. Basically, like, think of every character having a different level of, like, invisible RPG affinity with you. A character down the line unlocks your ability to functionally take classes from other characters as trust classes. Now, as a small bit of spoiler, this will be a surprise to no one, this boy over here, Arvis, has the Alchemist class, that if you do enough things, if you make him, if you earn his trust, you can actually get the Alchemist class, which might be of interest to, say, Velvet. So yeah, all of those will be fully detailed in the book. Every NPC has something to get, is one of the more ambitious sides of this project. I
wonder why production was so slow.
Yeah. Right? Every single NPC giving you a plethora of rewards. Let's see.
Just a general comment, because you shared this sentiment and it's particularly relevant, so I may as well say it. Jay and I's philosophy for making TTRPGs is, well, I can't make a video game.
Yep. So here we are. Oh man, I see a line of like, hey, I want to play this game in a Sky Pirate setting. Good, perfect, excellent. Originally this setting was going to have airships and shit in it. It no longer does.
What, does it not?
It doesn't. It has rockets.
Okay.
Yeah, every week the main city fires off a rocket that gets a little closer to space, doesn't quite touch, crash lands in an area now called the Rocket Wastes, that's just this horrible hellscape of twisted metal and radiation. It's great. Vindlestock asks, how far in advance do you run an actual Windrose game sessions, and how long does everyone typically play for in one session? These were run about 6 months ago. The ones we're editing right now, because we wanted to do it all in one run, more or less, to get a handle on the characters, gameplay systems, and what I need to do for production. We play this game... How do I put this in a way that doesn't make me sound like a dick?
Just go for it.
We play this game for fun, first and foremost. We think that the best viewing experience will be one of us enjoying ourselves, so we play it as often as people want to play, for as long as people want to play, and we call it there. Sessions generally, as a result, wind up being about 2 hours, because that's my burnout point. I am a weenie. In terms of how often we play it, I make the entire campaign beforehand and we just work through it. And then we go on break for a while, which is good, because it gives me time to actually do shit. If players wanted to play continuously, I'd do that. I'm not going to stress too much my schedule for this one. Because I've, like, TI follows the opposite philosophy of it's organized to consistently have content because we don't want the series to drop at all. This is, once again, not to sound like a douche, this is made for the players and GM first, so that we have the best time possible, because I think that'll produce the best content.
I don't think that makes you sound like a douche.
Yeah. Dr. Blah says, "How are you doing? I hope everything is well." I'm tired. I'm really fucking tired. I'm like, I stayed up way too late playing Smash last night, and then I have been working my fucking ass off to finish TI, Windrose, everything else I need to do. Like managing the channel. I'm like, this channel is gonna be changing a lot going forward, and which is a good thing. I'm super fucking excited. But it's been a lot. It's definitely worn on me a bit. Especially because I'm flying across the state at flying across the country at 6 a.m. this tomorrow morning. So like, yeah, no, I'm definitely going hard and starting to feel the burn, but I also have a few days away from my computer to rejuvenate, so that's good. Doing my best to avoid burnout, but most of my friends are telling me that I'm getting very close and you should probably cool it. So that's what's up with me. Another question. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Ultra Dice Senpai says, "My current big brain idea is to play the system in a Lovecraft setting." So, here's an idea. This is a free concept for a horror setting. Take a look at these 6 slots. These are your gifts that have power. They add power to your character. What if, slowly, the gifts started being replaced with things you couldn't get rid of that are intrusive thoughts?
That's very Lovecraftian. That's very terrible.
It's real fucked. That's my free, hey, you want to play a horror game idea? Go for that. Oh, man.
Yeah, that gets the warp lamp kind of fuck seal of approval.
Oh, I've been going my entire life trying to get that kind of fucked seal of approval. I love it because it's like whenever you tell me anything, I'm like, that's kind of fucked, and you're like, yeah.
No, it is straight up the mission statement of pretty much everything I do. Just make it a little fucked. Just a little.
Yup, Dr. Blah asks, "What systems and stories inspired Windrose the most?" Lamp and I railing on about game systems inspired the mechanics a lot. JoJo inspired it a lot. Me getting mad at the fact that, JoJo the game system, not JoJo the show. JoJo the show has had 0 inspiration, actually, on this system.
Screw you, JoJo.
Yeah, fuck you, JoJo, I love you. The guiding point was me getting very mad at, Pathfinder and 5e for your characters. You start with a build and you work through that your entire game, and unless your GM adds something, your character at level... You know how your character is going to be at level 20. You just do, from level 1. Predestination exists and you are walking straight into level 20 hell. Nothing will change, nothing will deviate, you will get different gear. Your only representation of the journey you took is your materialistic possessions, which seems kind of fucked to me. So I wanted to make a system where every step of the journey was represented in your character, and that was the big drive. In terms of direct game inspirations, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy XIV's a big one. Not really, actually. What? God, there's a lot. There's a lot of games I was inspired by, but they're all fleeting my memory now. Jesus Christ. There's like a lot of little nods to different RPGs in here that when I get to them, I'll remember. For example, this game is not broken up into chapters, it's broken up into discs. Because
Because that's very funny.
Yeah, because it's hysterical. We're still in disc 1, obviously. We'll get to disc 2 someday.
I can't wait. I can't wait for disc 2.
Oh my god. So, I think I'm gonna take like 2-3 more questions and then call it a night. Angra says, but I like hoarding treasures and showing off my wealth. Hell yeah, it's the best. It's just like, I love that shit. I love that shit in Pathfinder. I love when I get a shield that is a mirror that can send people into other dimensions. I just also want to lose an arm or an eye sometimes in the game to be like, here's
fine.
Yeah, here's how you handle that. Instead of like the GM being like, oh shit, what fucking do I gotta homebrew something now? That's just what I wanted from a game. Or I want to learn a technique from an old sword master that I can actually use in combat, and that to be represented on my character sheet rather than just be like a flat +1 bonus or something. That's all. Like, and I think materialism in TTRPGs is fun. Also.
Oh yeah, it's super fun.
You can buy 80 dance halls. Just buy 80 dance halls.
Just buy 1,000 rubber balls.
Fuck. Blanoic says Yeast Memories of Salsetta was also a big influence. Yeah, the obvious one! The one that I literally started a playthrough of to show how big of an influence it was. Fuck me. Thank you for doing my job for me. Holy shit. Oh my god, I'm so dumb.
It's okay, man.
FNK Deadbeat asks, are there any NPCs you're excited to introduce? Civ and I have been waiting for NPCs that are going to show up soon. That it has been a year, and I am dying.
Hey man, I relate. But like, try 3 years.
Oh my god, yeah, no. Yours is a more ancient thirst. Neko asks, how likely are we to see more Matago and Glamier? Extremely. I'm not gonna say which one, or both, but yes, 100%.
How likely? Extremely both.
Extremely both. Spencer asks, how would Delphi handle a party or person that was good and nice and tried to be helpful, but was rude, sarcastic, and cursy? Probably fine, actually. Like, if they were good-natured, yeah, that'd be fine. It's like, she has an issue with the reverse, which is good-natured on the surface, actually a murderer or an asshole, which is like a lot of TTRPG parties. It's
no
like,
funnies.
Yeah, so like, yeah, she's got an issue with those, but if you're like, she'd get along really well with Thog, for example, where it's like, Thog's an asshole and super cynical and like in your face, but he's a good guy at the end of the day. She wouldn't get on well with, God, she wouldn't get on well with Inian at all. That would be awful. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Fausty Flakes, or Fausty Flakes, don't know what the pronunciation is. How often do players do things you don't expect in Windrose? Every session.
Yeah, constantly. You ever play a TTRPG? You ever run one?
They're chaos.
Like, it's just an exercise, and I didn't see that coming. Like,
oh man. Yeah, no, like, I... fucking hell. I lost my shit at how easily they just... So, in the most recent episode, they actually dismantled my dungeon. Basically, the mechanic is, you go into this fortress, and they befriended the 2 bandits who were supposed to fuck off and run back to the fortress and raise the alarms and shit, right?
Right.
So, if they didn't befriend those 2 bandits, those bandits would run back, raise the alarm, they'd get into the dungeon, and the doors and exits would snap shut. There'd be no way out. They'd have to climb the entire tower. Furthermore, without that recourse, they would be trapped in a tower with a bunch of barrels that contain healing potion that they're trying to retrieve. The entire dungeon is built about pushing you off of these lattice work... Here, I can jump to it. I'll just type the spoilers.
Yeah, real bold of you to just show your maps in a very unpreviously looked at state for the sake of stream.
Yeah, no, like, I didn't see any reason why I couldn't, actually. This is
I
interesting.
don't know, because like we both understand this. We are dungeon masters, and therefore we are stupid,
Yeah.
and we just kind of leave things places that shouldn't be seen.
Sure do. Okay, so this entire dungeon is built to functionally shove people off of these walkways. You'll notice that the walkway up here is destroyed because these barrels explode and shove people down to the lower floors. Now, if you fall off the upper floor, you land on a barrel. So, in the notes, it says that Delphi should be with the group and she triggers a trap accidentally on purpose. GM on purpose, and is thrown off, smashing into one of the barrels that is coincidentally a decoy barrel, introducing the mechanic. The party left her behind. There were no NPCs in the room, so they got to be that very first one shoved off. Which, yeah, that went okay for them, I guess. Yeah, Delphi was expressly there to eat shit. I'm not nice to my NPCs. But yeah, like,
It's fun.
It's fun. They negated the mechanic by moving all of the barrels outside. Now, they could move them outside because they befriended the bandits. If the bandits hadn't been on their side, they would have closed this fortress up, and there would have been nowhere to hide the barrels except in the lower area. And if they'd done that, it would have presented a different problem. So, they dismantled my shit. Now let's move on up to the upper floors. Now, this area is, oh man, you're gonna see shit about this in the next episode. Yeah, this is a vertical dungeon about pushing you off the sides of shit. Very, very fun. Physics-based. And then you'll plummet to the bottom and break barrels. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, Angra says, Delphi probably wouldn't like one of my characters. See, here's the thing. I'm a huge dork, and I write fan fiction about fucking, I write, like, fan fiction, or as I more justify it, I do character practice, trying to write my characters' voices like talking to other characters, and my pet project is, and, like, I always do this when I'm like, okay, I need to remember how blank reacts to shit. I write Fire Emblem style support conversations.
Oh, it's the best.
Oh, it's so good. Where it's like, how would blank talk to blank? And my fucking dorky ass project is I was doing a Fire Emblem write-up for like 2 different TTRPG groups, and I was splitting them up. And Team A is like, it starts with Johan from JoJo and Thog, and they're just, it's like crotchety old mentor and shitty young guy, like trying to get along, and that team gets Yang and Harlock on it, and I'm like, this is just a cocktail of characters that will not work with a lot of other ones. So Team B is the worst team of all time, in terms of balance. It starts with, because I like writing protagonist roles for these 2 characters in particular, they're good for it. The protag, the Lord of Team A, is Johan, and the Lord of Team B is Marcus, because I like writing Marcus a lot, shocker. And like the first cleric you get in the game, the one who's like there to support you but has no healing magic, is Delphi. And you are, that run is just, in my mind, the worst fucking thing. So yeah, no, Angra, I have considered this fact. No, I
you
fucking
should share
love
some
that.
of your fan fiction with me sometime. That sounds lovely.
I'm so embarrassed. Okay.
I do it too sometimes.
It's so fun.
It is.
Gorgeous is on Team B, by the way, the bad one.
Gorgeous is not a team player.
No, Gorgeous is like, okay, so the thing about Team B is they have entirely ranged damage dealers, no tank, and then Roy, who's a vampire who dies instantly in sunlight. Like, it's everyone crowd behind this one fucking sad punching bag. And guess what? Gorgeous is on that team, and he doesn't help anything.
That's not really gorgeous as bad.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, that's great. Okay. So yeah, I think one more question should be good. I've babbled long enough. This has been longer than I expected. Lamp, thank you for joining me.
It's fun. I like talking to you.
I like talking to you as well. Steelcrest says, "God damn it, gorgeous."
Yeah.
Gorgeous. Oh, there's flat out a reference to gorgeous in the most recent TI, by the way.
Oh, fantastic. You'll have to tell me about that.
Yeah, it's good. No, like a deep lore from TI character shows up and she's like, she reaches her hand out to Marcus and is like, nice to meet you, gorgeous, or something like that. And Marcus is like, ooh, likewise. She pulls him up and goes, you know, I once met a man named Gorgeous. That was hysterical. Like, that line was hysterical that once. It's like, yeah, I once met a woman named Beautiful. And they just had this quiet bonding moment. Oh my god.
That's fun.
Oh my god. Chockle, your question is good, but I can answer it quickly. How would Delphi get along with Sorko? Pity. Just pity.
She'd be like, oh, that's your girlfriend, huh?
Oh, that's your girlfriend, huh? No, that's good. It's good.
I'm happy for you, too.
Someone help this kid. Oh, man. Vindelstock says, coincidentally, I just started Rib Venture yesterday. It's fucking good. It's really good shit. Check it out.
It's good. I don't think that's ever gonna get picked up again. I think the era for that has passed.
Yeah, as it does. Like, it was definitely a blast while it happened, but life happens, different games happen, and that's cool.
Yeah.
It has a really good vibe. You should check it out, and I have reason to believe that those characters might appear elsewhere.
I know Gorgeous well.
Yeah. Oh shit, is Gorgeous gonna be? Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, we gotta conspire after stream.
Oh my god, I love conspiring.
Hot damn.
Maybe if we have an in-depth conversation, it'll get me to put my Switch down for 2 goddamn seconds.
Agent J-Wall says, do you have a favorite line or moment in Windrose Everlasting so far? Yes.
Oh, and offhand, too.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide which one. 2 of them are coming up. Like, you'll see them in the next few episodes. I don't like this at all is really good. Civ knocks it out of the water with her being like, as Crunch, with something like the bottom of the barrel, and Gunch going like, it's funny, and Crunch going, I can't laugh, there's just nothing left. That always fucking decimates me. There are a lot of just, like, supremely cute and heartwarming moments. I think Velvet in the episode before last is just an elongated best moment of the series. And then, of course, I hate that I love drawing on my player's misery so much, but Firefly getting that Windrosey Nat 1, which, let me point it out, rolling a Nat 1 in Windrose is significantly harder in something you're trained in, so if you're not trained in something, if it's not part of your attributes, you're rolling raw d20. That's a 5% shot of fucking up catastrophically. That makes sense for something that you're not good at. 5% chance to absolutely start nuclear war? Yeah, that makes sense. But, if it's something that you're good at, you get to roll a 1d6 in addition to your d20. So, and in a lot of cases, that d6 is set to a certain number that is not 1. In order to roll a proper nat 1, you need to be doing an action that is adequately rushed that you rolled your 1d6, so it's something impromptu. you need to be doing something adequately rushed. Roll a 1 on your 1d20, and also a 1 on your 1d6, which drops the odds to about 0.8. You got a 0.8 chance blowing it that hard. For what
And yet.
And yet, that happened at the worst possible moment to Celine, because of course it did. And
Because, well.
Similarly, my other favorite moment, and this is an indication of fucking what is to come, I suppose, with this character. The first time that Delphi and Celine interact, Delphi's like, let's try dual casting, and Celine's like, this is a bad idea, let's do it. And they do it, and Delphi, similarly, in her first roll in the game, rolls that same 0.8 chance nat 1. I don't understand how cursed these characters are. It's unbelievable.
It's very funny.
Oh, God.
And I feel like you kind of have to revel in it a little bit when there's that small a chance. Like, when this comes up, this may very well be your only chance to narrate this level of failure.
Oh my God, yeah. Holy shit, yeah. So, those are my favorite moments so far. If you've got your own, I'd love to hear them. I've loved running this campaign. I can't stress enough how fucking happy I am with how everything's come together, and like, it's been the best. I need a I'm working so damn hard on it because I enjoy it so damn much. And like, in the next week or two, I really hope to, not week or two, that's too early of a promise. By the new year, I guess. Maybe by Christmas.
Yeah, it's much
time.
vaguer.
Yeah. Around the new year, I really hope to have a tutorial out so that you guys can play this system too and give me feedback. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you create. Yeah, so I think that about wraps it up. Can't think of anything else I really want to say. Lamp, thank you for coming out and doing this Q&A with me.
Thanks for allowing me to. I'm sure I had a lot of insightful things to say about your game that I should watch.
That's fine. It's useful too because it's not a 100% an insider like, oh yeah, you know this thing about the game. By you being here, I get to explain things again, which like, and you have
a human to explain it to instead of just a void.
Exactly. So like, it's very, very useful. Oh my God. So, without any further ado, we're gonna be back, I'm gonna say in 15 minutes at 11 p.m. EST with more World of Light. We're gonna be streaming with a few friends. Angra's in chat. I'm gonna be talking to him, unless Fate Go Christmas comes out and wrecks us both. But that doesn't seem likely, right? Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic night. Thank you for coming out for this. Don't tell my players any of this. Keep it a secret. This is a secret between me and you, chat.
A public secret.
It's a public secret. Have a good night.